Hi guys, it's Melissa Street. Welcome back to Green Street Beauty. A lot of you have asked us to demonstrate using our My Face Chart and Beauty Tips application how we make face charts for continuity or for character. So today I'm going to show you how to make this Frankenfurter character. I like to use real product on my chart. So I'm using powder products, I'm using brushes, Q-tips, I'm using some artist's colored pencils, and an artist smudger. I also like to take a reference photo of the character and put it down in that lower left-hand corner. You can do that directly from the app. I'm taking a powder foundation and I'm taking a Real Techniques buffing brush and I'm buffing that powder foundation into the chart. Remember, the composite looks like my client, so it has my client's facial features. It doesn't have Tim Curry's facial features from that reference photo, okay? But I like to have the reference photo right there so I can always look and see the actual makeup I'm trying to emulate. Now, Frankenfurter is a man who wants to be a woman. He's a transsexual, transvestite. So I need to contour the face. I'm taking a sleek makeup palette. This one is in Au Naturel, and I am using a taupe color, a matte taupe color from that palette, and I'm going to go ahead and contour. Again, the composite looks like my client, so I have to honor her facial features, but I'm still trying to be true to the character. So I'm referencing the photo and I'm contouring what would look good on her face. Now I'm doing the cheeks, and this is going to simulate some pretty heavy contour. Again, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. You should see the movie if you're trying to emulate a makeup. Reference, research. You need to look at photos. You need to look at the movie if you can. It's really super important. Ooh, look, I'm using my secret weapon. Yes, folks, Q-tips. Q-tips should be your secret weapon regardless of whether you're doing makeup on someone's actual face or on a chart, because they are fantastic for applying makeup to a chart, to a face, and they're great for blending. I've contoured the chin. Now I'm contouring the temples. All the while, I keep referencing that photo of Tim Curry as Frankenfurter. Um, I'm using a Real Techniques brush. Like I said, I like to apply with a brush directly onto the chart. It works. It works great. Now I've switched up to an artist's pencil and I'm just kind of mapping out how I want the shape of the eyebrows. Now listen, folks, okay, for safety's sake, please don't use an artist's pencil on your actual client. This is only for the chart, okay? I'm just mapping it out. If you needed to map out, the eyebrow shape on an actual person, please use like a lighter toned eyebrow pencil, okay? Don't use an actual artist pencil. Oops, I made a mistake. Look, you can erase. How awesome is that? This paper, by the way, that my chart is on is just regular old computer paper. However, you could use an artist's paper if it fit through your printer, okay? Now I'm using my Q-tip and I'm dipping it into a black color, matte color from that sleek Au Naturel palette, and I'm filling in the eyebrows. And I'm bringing down that contour, that black color, down onto the nose and into the eye area. Again, Q-tips, I can't stress enough. You should have a ton of them by your side when you're doing charting. Charting's super important if you are, trying to show your client what the makeup would look like on them before you actually put the makeup on them. I think it's great. The makeup will translate. I've taken an artist's pencil now, and because I've made my client have downturned eyes, which is what she has in real life, I am correcting her eye shape. That's why it's winged out at the corner. I'm trying to draw her eyes up in the outer corner. I'm going to move on to blush. I'm taking a Jouer powder product. I think that's in Peony. And I'm going to apply that with a brush. And I'm going to kind of put that onto the apples of the cheeks and where the heavy contour is. Again, Tim Curry's character, Frankenfurter, is a man trying to be a woman. So I'm sure the makeup artist was taking into consideration when he was doing his character analysis, that a man would want to soften his facial features if he was trying to be a woman. But at the same time, he wouldn't be necessarily applying the makeup super neat, would he? He wouldn't be blending it super neat. He would be kind of slapping it on a little bit. I want to switch up to a little more pop of color. So I've switched my sleek palette now to something called the Ultra Mattes. Those are pigmented colors and they give me a little bit more pop. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to blend it into the cheek and I'm going to blend it into the temple. Again, remember, I'm trying to stay as true to this character as possible and emulate what the makeup artist would have done. Okay, I'm going back into the Au Naturel palette now, and I'm going to apply the eye makeup. Going back to that Tim Curry character, how would a man apply a smoky eye or apply eye makeup if he was trying to be a female? Right? You're going to research, you're going to figure it out. You're going to, he was a wacky, mad scientist too. So maybe he would have slapped it on. He wouldn't have necessarily done it. It's not elegant. He's not an elegant character. He's a fun, kind of sexual and sort of controversial character. So his makeup is going to reflect that. Blending the makeup in, buffing it in with that Q-tip, taking that brown tone all the way up to the eyebrow and smudging it in. I do want to make my client feel pretty though too. So remember, I'm going to make it, nice for her features as well. Now I'm switching up and doing lips. I do not like to use wax lipstick on this particular type of chart. It will smudge, and I don't like that. So I will use an artist's colored pencil, and I've searched far and wide in many, many art stores looking for dupes for lipsticks that are in my actual pro kit. So I'm using a red that's probably very, very close to, say, like a Ruby Woo color or something from MAC. Filling in those lips and, trying to get as close to the color as I possibly can. Now, I want to do something fun and different. I have a ton of false lashes. Instead of taking all these lashes to my client and, trying to figure out which eyelashes look good for her eye shape and stuff, I'm trying to, do that here using the chart. It's kind of fun to just sort of see what the lash would look like. And I'm going to hold it up for you, and it's a 3D effect. I'm obviously not going to keep these on the chart. I will draw on the actual eyelashes, but it's fun to kind of see what that would look like. Oh, and you can see I've added bottom lashes too. Here, this is how I, simulate actual eyelashes. I'm using an artist's pencil and I'm sort of just doing feather strokes in order to make the actual eyelash. And I'm going to switch up to a marker or a felt tip marker and kind of make the lashes a little bit darker. These are sort of like the felt tip liquid liners that are out today in those pen forms. Again, feathering, and I want the lashes to be big and bold and outrageous and fun. I want them to be, like doll-like almost. So now I'm taking a step back. I'm looking at the reference photo and seeing what I want to change, seeing what I want to add. And I think I want to add some darker lips. So I've taken a darker pencil and I've made the outer line of the lips a little bit darker. And I'm taking that artist smudger that I told you guys about in the beginning of the video. This is like a blender. It just smudges and blends and makes everything look a little bit more smooth. It'll work for the pencils as well as it'll work for the powder product. Filling in the brows, wanted a little bit more brow. Again, I'm going to use the artist smudger and just smudge that product in and make it nice and as neat as possible. And I've contoured the nose a little bit more, smudging it a little bit more. I'll probably go back in, maybe add a little bit more contour down the nose, really trying to remember about, keeping in mind my clients' facial features as well as trying to be as authentic to the character as possible. Hopefully this is useful to you guys. This chart is great for continuity, for mapping out your looks, and for writing down all of the products used. Hopefully, you're getting a lot out of this. Have a great day, guys.